In the wake of the scandal on reliability of news sources, Facebook's jumped on the bandwagon by pledging to use outside fact-checkers to flag so-called fake news. But the decision sparked a storm of protest, as Murad Gazdiev reports.
Fake news.
Fake news. Fake news.
Here's an interesting fact about fake news. It does not have a universally accepted definition. The people who are pushing to ban it can't agree on what exactly it is that they're trying to ban. So, Facebook is at the forefront. Very soon, users are going to be able to report any news story that they don't like as fake news.
If you suspect a news story is fake, you can report it. It just takes a few taps. Your report helps us track and prevent fake news from spreading.
Enough people do it, and it gets sent to the fact-checkers for review. And here is where the drama starts. Meet Facebook's fact-checkers. ABC News, which was allegedly busted recently for faking a crime scene for a live broadcast. The Associated Press. The AP's fact-checking department is, well, they recently claimed that Assad isn't fighting ISIS. Palmyra. Public quickly called them out, and the fact-checkers were left red-faced. PolitiFact, a fact-checker that is widely accepted as being politically biased. Example, they accuse the Republicans of lying 9 times as often as Democrats.
You are an embarrassment. You sully the reputation of anyone who cites you as an authority on fact-ishness, let alone fact. You are fired.
So, these are just some of the guys who are going to be deciding what's fake and what's real for you. Way worse in Russia. So far, no Russian press group is on Facebook's partner list. Instead, there are 2 Ukrainian ones, which are presumably going to be patrolling the Russian language part of Facebook. Yeah, they're going to be impartial, aren't they? Okay, Facebook is going to start censoring news. Obviously, you, me, well, we're no longer capable of deciding what to believe in or to separate fact from fiction. But you know what's more worrying? This is part of a much bigger and much darker trend. If you're a person with unconventional liberal views, you are now being put on public watch lists in the US. If you run a website that, and I quote, criticizes the United States or Barack Obama, NATO, Ukraine, the mainstream media, there's an organization that is going to label you as Russian propaganda. This isn't some obscure website. It got cited by Washington Post. It's like the West is turning into 1970s USSR. Dissidents, foreigners, the unconventional are now the enemy. A new 21st century information inquisition, a digital witch hunt where you are no longer trusted to decide what news you should see. And if you think this isn't going to be abused, well, I don't know what to tell you.
Some of those involved in politics think directly censoring social media is a worrying practice.
Any fact checker that will be vetting stories for fake or real are going to have their own type of bias in their vetting, and nobody's sitting on top of them to make sure they're doing their job accurately. Keeping this just to the label of third-party vetting without any clarity or openness or disclosure makes this look exactly what it is, as censorship. And I think this is going to be a scar on Facebook for the majority of their users.
They have a right to monitor it if it's a private organization. But when they turn over our records, because they have tremendous records on all citizens, not only American citizens, everybody else, when they work in cahoots with the government to give this information to it and then decide, well, we're going to control the media. If Ron Paul started talking about why we shouldn't be in Syria, we might do ABC. And that means that the investigation ought to be how does the government influence what Facebook is doing?
Thanks for joining us so far on this Saturday on RT International. Hillary Clinton's refusing to back down. She now claims that Vladimir Putin was personally behind the Democratic Party's cyber attack. The story just gets worse and worse. We'll cover it in a moment.